Live. Oh. Ugh. We're live, baby. We're live. I think we're gonna get. I think we're gonna get there today. I think today might be the day. I don't have a ton of time because I do have a thing. Here's blueprints time. Move my camera a little bit down. There we go. That's correct. I think we can get... So remember, we have 2 goals at this point in time. We've kind of done a lot. We just need to get to the room. I don't think there's much else to be done. We're gonna grab our stipend. That's not true. There are the microchips to find. Enter your room, find your mom, recover the rubies. That is true. We do have more rubies to find. But I really think that we are coming up on the kind of finale. I think I'll probably do a couple extra streams. There's some stuff that I want to do, but one of the things I want to do is the schoolhouse stuff. Yeah, we're gonna do the schoolhouse stuff. This is, in fact, one of the distinct things I was hoping for. Oh, I don't know that I got this last time. The last 38 years has been my pleasure of serving as your schoolmaster in this humble little facility. And meager as it may look by modern standards, I think most of us who spend our afternoons here will readily admit that we are reluctant to see the small piece of Reddington history go. I first wish to thank Lady Epson, our most gracious host today, for not only paying attention in my classes those many years ago, but for all the fundraising she has done on behalf of our community and our children. Without her, Reddington Elementary would still be a distant and blurry vision, a vision that I dared not even dream. That dreamer is, of course, the incomparable Mrs. Peterson, our future principal and my reluctant successor, who I might add forced me to give this speech, so I think I'll end my praise of her there, though she deserves much more, I'll admit. To the architect of our new school, the Baron Sinclair, thank you for following in your father's footsteps and building Reddington, yet another school, and for allowing us the use of your private residence and floor plans to serve as our interim facility until the new campus is completed in March, a decision I'm certain he will immediately regret tomorrow morning when he hears the children running through his halls. And lastly, I wish to thank all my students, many of you here today who I'm not seen in years, whose faces I still remember as young and manners wild. Those here whose parents before them I have also taught and whose children I may yet. Without you I would have had a lifetime of quiet peace. And yet, what is all the peace in the world if you have no one to bestow demerits upon? Thank you all sincerely. My time here has meant the world to me, and if I am still standing in 8 months, I will see you all at the slightly less melancholic ribbon-cutting ceremony next year. Better joke to end, remember to give Miss Peterson her gift. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything else to do in this room specifically. But this was one of the rooms that we wanted to see other than Tomb. Because Tomb also has the back exit that we have to go into. There's the statue puzzle. There's stuff to do. But we are gonna do the... Did you ever get the key to the fountain? No, I never did. That's another thing. We have to... Well, it's not the key to the fountain. It's the key to the basement. So we just have to get to the key. Always good. Should be taking library most of the time, but I'm gonna grab an early hallway. Getting a key early is nice. 3 gems is pretty strong right away. And yeah, I know that is a little bit narcissistic, but I think that we can get there. Workshop's good to have always. You never know what you'll find. There's usually an item in the workshop too. It's a broken lever. Okay. I think it's usually worth checking out this place no matter what, because you can usually find a thing. Observatory? Fix the casino machine. That's a good call. I wasn't even thinking about that. Oh, we can go observatory. We need to get our stars back up. We lost a lot when we exchanged them permanently for income. We're having a sale. These are equal in gem value. I think we can actually go with storeroom and just get it out of the pool for today. I haven't seen any of the rooms that I drafted. We need to do the chest puzzle too, which I didn't even think about. There's so many things to do. Pine and pin is fun. The magnifying glass. The empty boxes are both true. Okay. The empty boxes are both false. Okay. This is not an empty box. What? Triple is playing Blueprints? This is so unlike him. It is very like me. Is your computer fixed? Are you watching on, like, legal... like, actual hardware? I've been hitting this game hard lately. I've been super enjoying it as well. Anyway, let's dissect the puzzle. The empty boxes are both true, or the empty boxes are both false. So, let's digest this statement. If this statement is true, then it means that the empty boxes are both true. So if this statement is true, that means that this box is true. And it would mean that this box is true, and it's empty. It would also mean that this box has to be true, because this is a contradictory statement. But that would mean this is full, but that, some sort of puzzle game set in a house that makes the archetypes from the Resident Evil weep with joy. Correct. So basically, this box can't be true because it causes a paradox. So, let's see if this box is true. That means that this box is false and this box is false. And that means that this is true, this is false, this is false. That actually works. So that probably is just what it is. But also there's income? Yes. Oh, I failed! Really? That's my first one. The empty boxes are both false. So this would be false. This is not an empty box. That would be false, and then the empty boxes are both true is also false. Oh. Why is that? Why doesn't that work then? False, false, true. This is not an empty box. That's false and there's stuff there. Wait. This box can't be true. Because if this box is true, that means that this box has to be true, and this box has to be true. And that just isn't... But then if they're both true, then this is not an empty box. Which is a paradox, which means this box can't be true. Which means one of these true has to be true. So this one has to be... This is not an empty box. So this is true. Or, no, this is false, and this is true. Oh, wait, I think I actually bungled it. Because I said this statement was true. Oh, so it's here. Yeah, I see what happened. I was just dumb. Indoor nursery? I really don't want the indoor nursery. Give me the utility closet. I don't need to go in there, though. Which I can go in there later. I just didn't think it through is actually what happened there. That's a bad mistake. They're just... Actually, that was like 18 in a row. I don't think it is 18 in a row. Oh, map! Huh. Neat. What can we get? Give me the Curse of Blackbridge. Let's take that one. We're starting to get kind of spooky. Sad. I wanted to continue that streak. I really did. It's fine. I should take the Mechanarium here. Let's take the Mechanarium. We haven't seen a single schoolhouse yet, which is kind of upsetting. There's the classroom. I forgot we have the jackhammer. Yeah, we want to grab the classroom every time we see it. And the reason for that is... Okay, the Mechanarium, it does have that door open. Is because we basically... Okay, colors... It's really like red, Caleb. I thought it was just some fun puzzles. Oh, no. Can you find the difference? Oh, that's actually a really smart way of introducing that mechanic. Can I do the worksheet? I feel like I should get, like, a pen or something to be able to do these worksheets. Or something. Just in case, let's... Just in case. Just in case we get asked some stupid thing. Caleb likes red. He only got 2 of 12. Which means that none of the flags are red, which is interesting. So I know those two are red. For sure. We can take a pantry here. Just stop taking pantry, though. Pantry has got a lot worse ever since, just because of how much stuff I get. Give me a West Wing Hall. Yeah, you're going... Yes. Yes, basically. Man, I am just not... I want more classrooms. Yeah, we want as many classrooms as we can get a hold of. Grade 2. Oh, Hall Pass. Sick. Hall Pass is great. Find each sum without using signs. Okay, so blue is add. Yellow is subtract. 6 minus... 10 out of 12, yeah. That's rough, buddy. A creepy old mansion, take it. I would take it too! Pink is multiplication. So, let's take a look. This is right, this is right, this is right. This is right, this is right. This is wrong. This is correct. This is correct. This is correct. This one's wrong. This one's correct and this one's correct. So that is 10 out of 12. Okay. Oh. I guess that's just how you learn about this. Yeah, we actually understand these colors. Grade 2. Surprised I can't interact with the blank one. How do we actually do the puzzle? I don't know. Give me a bedroom here. The regular bedroom, this feels like it should have a safe in it somewhere. The room feels like it should have more. Secret passage or a boiler room? I don't really need a boiler room. I could take a hallway from the secret passage, though. It's actually not the worst idea. Just don't actually interact with the classroom until the 8th classroom. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Great Hall would be really good. Foyer. Foyer was actually exactly what I was looking for. Because now, this doesn't cost a gem, and now all hallway rooms are unlocked. Like a passageway. Okay, okay. Give me a kitchen. Kitchen's really good here, I think. A lab, a chapel, a corridor? I'm worried about being able to interact with this side of the house, but I think it's fine for now. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, the sale. I'm gonna hold off on that just in case we get the room that have steps. An aquarium. Actually, don't hate an aquarium here, because aquarium, knowing that there is the room that that counts red rooms. Oh, this is the treasure map room, huh? Where is it? Okay, need something to dig with. I could do a gym. Gym probably makes up for it. I could go 2, 3. It's actually not that many steps to go back, so I'm gonna go back to because of the hall pass. This connection doesn't take, like, those connections don't take. You definitely want to reach a garage. Could get up a garage there. No dog in all the aquarium. Free the fish. Do I want this? Yeah, we'll take the garage. We're not gonna go in the garage yet, though, because hallways are free. So I can go... I can kind of stay in this area for free. Large aquarium, please do not dig in the aquarium. I'm gonna dig in the aquarium. What did... I'm digging in the aquarium, dog. Actually, might... The reason I came back here, by the way, was to go to the utility closet and to turn off of the... I hate to say it, but the fish do require... The fish do yearn for freedom. And who am I to say no to the fish? They yearn for their freedom. Turn the gym off. Turn the garage on. Actually, I should have turned the... my timing's gonna be a little weird, but actually having an entryway here is pretty sick. We don't need to go there. We need more classrooms to draft. And granted, once I get one classroom, it should be pretty easy to continue drafting classrooms, just because of the way that their ability works. As long as I don't get one exactly here, I need something that continues out. Like, I need a spare room here. I'm gonna run out of gems, though, if I do it this way, which sucks. Like, if I got a classroom here. Nope, but the breakfast nook is fine. I do need to find the car key, though. Oh, I need gems. I want the commissary. I can't take the commissary. Oh, that's unfortunate. Jackhammer? Jackhammer gets me a good number of stuff, actually. Get the jackhammer out. We'll probably put it back at the end of the day, but let's just get the jackhammer. For now. Yeah, we're not going to be able to access that room, which is a little unfortunate, but it's fine. Oh yeah, didn't... Oh, I can't... I was gonna say, didn't the place that you worked, have... Oh, an ivory dice. Neat. Have a big aquarium. Wasn't that one of their main draws? Ooh, 3 dice. Okay. Kinda hoping for gems, but we'll work with it. Sure did. The place that cannot be named. Yeah, unfortunately, right now, we do need a way to get into that room. And not having one is spooky. A little bit spooky for me. Give me some gems. There we go. Do you regret where you placed the foundation? A little bit! I wish it was higher up. The fish are without sin. I definitely do regret where I placed the foundation, but I can't really do anything about it other than full reset, and I'm not gonna do that. Fish are without sin except for dolphins. Correct! The dolphins are full of sin, and they know it. Not fish, true. Anything is a fish? No. I'm gonna challenge that assertion, actually. I think. We can grab all of these things. It's sale day. Anything without sin is a fish. I also don't think that's how that works. I don't have a key card. That's... I didn't even think about the key card system. God, I want that classroom. But I don't want to lose, either. Give me the classroom. I want all the classrooms. This is chemistry. Use the elements below is water. H2O in a solid state is called ice. H2O in a gaseous state, or in a liquid state, is called water. H2O in a solid state is called ice. And H2O in a gaseous state is called steam. S-T-E-A-M, yeah. Steam. This looks like it's just giving water, ice. Mrs. Peterson, disrespectful, see me after class. Tear, drop. That's actually really clever. Ice and water. So this is showing you how to solve some of the puzzles in the other wings, it looks like, which is really smart. Very fun. We go into the aquarium, which is without Stin. It's one of the reasons I bought the salt shaker was I knew that I had the kitchen with a bunch of stuff in it. We need a car keys. Yeah. Honestly, weight room's pretty fine here. Half, whatever. Whatever. Because then we can go back here, and we can grab all of the bananas. They mean when they talk about the Jesus fish? What are you talking? What Jesus fish? So we need to get in that room. Oh, that's actually really bad that that's there. The Jesus fish. Don't just hit me with the Jesus fish like I should know what that means. Oh, aren't you aware of the Jesus fish? Whoa. Opens all normal doors. You do not have to pay the gem cost of floor plans. Sick. Ornate compass. When drafting, you may rotate the first 3 floor plans. We're grabbing the moon pendant. The moon pendant was awesome. And the ability to stash the moon pendant feels very good. Start redrawing. You're the weird one for not knowing. You cannot possibly hit me with the "you're the weird one for not knowing about the Jesus fish." We're probably not going to be able to afford anything else today. There's no... Let's see if there's a key card, because we can see the inventory. View the estate inventory. There's 3 keys, which are inside of the... okay. There's actually not a lot, which is not good for us. But I can set the... key card system, to change it to security level high. Confirm, and the offline mode into unlocked. We can change that. We're not going to end up getting all of the classrooms today, which kind of sucks, but it's fine. We need to go back to the utility closet. Can't you just open up the cases and take the jewelry out? Because that would lead to anarchy. Anarchy is bad. Oh, right, the stupid... It was less of a Christian symbol and more of a Methodist symbol. Right, the coexist fish. I remember now. Where's the hall pass to? Okay, that's what it says. I was gonna say, there's not a way for me to... Ah yes, now you know. The Jesus fish. Oh, car keys! Sick! Okay, that means that we can do one of our major objectives this run. We need to go to the utility closet and turn off the keycard system, even... I should have done this earlier, actually, with the intent of drive away quickly. No. We cannot drive away from the manor. I tried. Ooh. You okay, game? Weird, I've never seen this game lag. I don't think it's his house until he solves the puzzles. Technically, it's not my house. That is true. I have to earn it from my uncle. One of those wacky puzzle wills. Yeah, I'll be honest, I would be delighted if somebody was like, I'm giving you a house. You have to solve a series of riddles to obtain the house. Go on. You've intrigued me. We need to go to the garage. That's not what I was hoping for. That's not what I was hoping for at all. This is usually my route into Secret Garden. But I guess we're not getting into the Secret Garden here. That puts a damper on my activities for today, I think. A little bit. Alright, I know how my presents will be given out. Interesting. I'm also intrigued. The pool. Let's redraw here. Are whales fish? Yes? No, whales are not fish. But they are without sin. $17. 1 squared is 1, plus 4 is 5, 5 squared minus 15 is 10. 10 times divided by 5 is 2. What is pink? Colored notes. Pink is multiply? It's 15 divided by 5, which is 3, times 1, which is 3, squared is 9, plus 4 is 13. No? 1 squared plus 4 squared is 25, minus 15 is 10. That's 10 divided by 5 is 2. Why did I get 3? Because I saw 15. I guess no matter where I go... I love darts, man. Anyway, that's 2 times 1 squared 4 plus 4 is 8. That was where my math was wrong. 16 divided by 4 squared divided by... It's 4. It always ends up as 4. No, it always ends up as 16 because I squared after. Ugh. 10. That was 8. So it'll be 16. There we go. Oh, there's the key card. Okay. Terrible spot for a key card after I've already had to disable the... Man. I want it... Because I need one of the specific rooms. Like, I need a grand hall, or I need a... redraw for free. Give me a couple extra rerolls going into here. And legally a gem for knowing that this is 1225. Which, again, I should take every time. Should probably also mark where this is. No, there probably can't be a run where you get all the rubies in the same run. Courtyard is not one of the rooms that I need. Classroom is not one of the rooms that I need. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we could still go for it. If you're wondering what I'm looking for, there's... It's none of those. I'll take the study, though, because I need to find one of the rooms that opens up the final alcove. So I just have to go a little bit deep on rerolls, I guess. Not what I was planning on today, though. I just have to get in there. I got the message. We're gonna buy the food so we don't die. We have the moon pendant. We're gonna stash the moon pendant. Because we have too much crap, basically. So we're gonna stash the moon pendant away in the place to do the stuff. 16 steps is pretty good. Is it enough? I don't know. Might have to draft a dining room at some point. Thankfully, we can just leave the house here, so... We need one of the rooms that gets us into the final cloister. So Grand Hall would be great. I still want classrooms. Which is crazy, but I still like the classrooms. Identify each realm on the map below. Okay, that's a new one. Yeah, this is stuff I am, like, pretty unaware of. So we're gonna take screenshots of these guys. I hope this isn't a political statement. I hope one of these kids actually did... No, they all suck. That sucks. I actually don't know how to identify the realm. Geography. Fen Eris. You determine it all based on the scores? Yeah. Take like 7 to 8 minutes. Give me a dining room. No, why did I do that? I should have kept redrawing for... yeah, dinner's fine. 21 steps is good. It also... Oh my god, what's up? I'm not streaming for that long, don't worry. I'm not gonna run into Pokemon. Hi, Janaga. Or, is it Pokemon Day? What day is it? I know it's Thursday, but I'm... Wait, what? What's here? What? Oh. There's a penny there. Today is Wednesday? Oh, no! Since when is it Wednesday? I'm gonna redraw for something better. Like, the vestibule. Yeah, because the rooms are always unlocked in the vestibule. Yeah, morning room. Give me the morning room, I guess. I need a grand hall, basically. Okay, that sucks. Again, like, there's now a room I can get. Thankfully, the morning room does have gems in it. Which means I can roll and a coupon book. I don't have a key for this room. That's deeply upsetting. Can I get a key anywhere? Does coupon book work at the jewelry circuit? Yeah, but it's only one cheaper. Yeah, it's just one. It's 1 penny. It's not amazing. I can't get into the... I guess it's possible there's a key that I missed somewhere. But that's my only hope, so that's cool. Because I can't open that door without... I guess we can find out with the terminal. The estate inventory. Nope. So there's no keys anywhere. So I'm locked. That means we coat check the pendant and we go again. What are you doing awake on a Wednesday then, Mr. Janaga? That sucks. I'm very actually surprised that the secret garden key was not in the car. It usually is there. It's where I usually always go for it too. Get some work in Mayak today. Oh my god! You still get work from them? You mentioned last night as the reason you had to miss boys' night. No, I thought the reason was because Lucy had to go to the airport. We're gonna check the moon pendant. That too. What? I thought that was the main reason. Is there anything I can do today with the jackhammer? Don't think so. Is there anything I can do with this set of stuff? Not particularly. So we call it a day. What do you schedule 2 boys' nights on the same night? No, so that might have been why I was double booked on this Thursday. And I was gonna mention this. Every third Tuesday, which is awful. I was gonna say you can make the super sledge for what? The only thing that the super sledge gets me into, that I know it gets me into, is it gets me in a room. I was going to, specifically, there was a room that I needed to go into, but we have the event coordinator, and she needs some extra hands this week. Skylar, just Blaze, you change hands. Gotcha. Anyway, yes, Tuesday nights. We are on the worst schedule of all time with my buddy who has, like, the single worst work schedule I've ever seen. So I have D&D every 3 weeks on Tuesday, which is just, it's awful, it's terrible, and we give him shit. Again, it's literally only every third Tuesday. I know we could move our thing to another night, but it does work the best for me. Tomb's here? Tomb. Yeah, so he works on like a 1 out of 3 is pretty often. It is pretty often, but it is... Yeah, that's fair. Well, we should talk about it tomorrow. Most days I have stuff at 8 though, and I don't have a thing at 8 on most workshop. I mean, yeah, I'm always gonna take workshop. Now we need a metal detector and a fuse. Like, I'm just gonna grab the hallway closet right away. Because we're looking for items now. You can move your camera down or sit up, my dude. Why is my camera up that high? Stop it. My camera was changed, and now it is not. Yeah, yell at me for that. That's what the posture check button is for. I'm like sitting up regular, how I normally sit, too. I bumped my camera before starting today, though. Commissary right away? Yeah. Mostly because if we see the 2 items... Damn. We are gonna grab a running shoes, a set of gems, and the hammer. You do not have posture check? Do I not? Well, what the Let's grab the office right away. I'm not gonna do the office thing, though, but I thought I did have posture check as a reward. Anyway, let's not worry about that. Solarium? I do like the solarium a lot. I actually want the lab, though. Give me the lab. Well, I should change that. I'm not going to, but I should. Let's do an experiment. Each time you eat an apple, set your steps to 40. That's crazy! Check desk of security. I will. Each time you eat an apple, set your steps to 40 is wild. Yeah, we're just gonna do that. Now if we find Secret Garden, we can literally take this run basically forever. This is on already. Don't have to do that. Dining room? I don't hate an early dining room. I really don't. I will check security desk, though. There's not a key card. What do you want? Dining room? You should have infinite steps. You're right. There's 10 coins somewhere, which is wild, because I haven't seen any money. Because I like the dining room. There's 10 coins. Where are there? Oh, it's in the office. Are they in the outdoor room? They're in the out... That's right. I have zero idea what's going on. You haven't caught any blueprint streams? Okay. We are drafting a house. We are trying to get to here. Well, actually, we're trying to do some other stuff, but don't worry about that. Basically, we are trying to explore the house that our uncle gave to us. It is full of puzzles. It is, this is a puzzle roguelike game. So the goal of the game is to find the 46th room of the house. It exists somewhere on the grounds, and there is a way to get into it. This is the antechamber. In this room was a key to a basement. We've been in the basement, but we haven't done everything we can do in the basement. Now I've set it up so I just need to get this key from here and I can do some other stuff. However, in this current run, we have a tomb, which is an exterior room that does other stuff. There's stuff in there that I want to do, but I need a specific thing to do it. So, I need to do that. Highly recommend checking out the streams. They're all on YouTube, actually. So go... If you want to know more about this game, highly recommend it. Yeah. There's about 10 hours of content if you want it. There are 2 false statements. This is the only true statements. Oh shit, you uploading now? Yeah, I've just been lazy and just exporting the VODs directly. But I'm gonna see if I might need to do a different... You think there's only 10 hours of blueprints? There is 5 videos of blueprints. One of which is 4 hours, one of which is 3 hours, one of which is 3 hours. There's like 15 hours of blueprints. There are 2 false statements, and this is the only true statement. If this box is true, then this box is true, and it falls apart. Anyway, so the boxes. The boxes have a rule where at least one of them is true, at least one of them is false. People having something put on to forget about while they do other things. Yeah, the thing I'm running into right now is not the VOD channel. I am running into the problem of it uploads in 720p. And I don't think I'm streaming in 720p. I think I'm streaming at a higher quality than that. I think Twitch just uploads at that. So I may have to download the videos and then upload them to YouTube that way in order to get the definition I'm looking for. But I have to play around with it a little bit more. Because I would like to upload in the highest quality I am available to. Because if I'm gonna do it, I might as well do it. Just record directly with OBS. I should do that. I should start doing that. That's not what I do. I should do that. You're right. You're so smart and handsome. I do use... We'll talk about this later. Make the record output different from the stream output. I can do that. I know that's how people do music. I do need to do that. Anyway, so at least one of these is false, and at least one of these is true. So stating that this is the only true statement, let's assume that's true. Then this is false. Then this would be true. No, it wouldn't. If this is true, both of these need to be false, and then... If this is true, this is also true by design. So, this box can't be true, this box is false. If this box is... There's only one statement talking about the gems. There is only one statement talking about the gems. I should probably focus on that one. The white box is empty. Oh! Wait a minute. Yeah, there's only one talking about the gems. It has to be white box. That's the only one with the gems. Yes, because this... yeah, this has to be... Yeah, you're right. This borders down to... I'm curious about the logic, though. Because this ends up having to be true. Because I'm betting... This is false because we learned that it's false, and this is... If this is true... Yeah, then... Yeah, that has to be true. Both of these are false. This has stuff in it. So smart. We can take a chapel. I don't mind chapel that much. We do have a lot of money, too, just off the fact that we have the tomb. So every time we draft a dead end. Drafting a garage. I think I always want the garage in some form. Even if I don't have the West Wing Hall key, I think just the 3 keys is handy enough on its own. Not having the car key sucks, though. It's just... I need to find that. Mechanarium. These are terrible rooms. This has 1, 2... This actually has a lot of doors, so let's grab the Mechanarium. Chamber of Mirrors, hallway, or a den. I don't really want the Chamber of Mirrors, so we'll grab the den. Courtyard? I do like a courtyard, especially when it connects to all the doors. I was gonna say, and then we got sidetracked, but I will be doing deck builds on Thursdays now, and Pokemon on Sunday. You're starting at 9 now on Thursdays, and honestly, the 1-hour challenge on the day you have a hard cutoff time. Yeah, that does make a little more sense. I'm willing to agree with you on this one, because I think you're correct. That'll be fun. I do like your deck builds. I think they're silly. Honestly, I do want to see... I know I was talking about it yesterday, but I want to see the Mew... the TM drafts, was it? What did you call it? Or you just fought Mews with abysmal TM drafts against each other. That was silly. I loved it. +1 key for each bedroom in the house, or a patio, which could have gems. Let's grab the patio. Mostly because this just has stuff in it always. Oh, sick. It has one of the items I need. Now we need... The only thing we need, magnifying glass. Not being in the commissary sucks, but we'll find it. We're gonna find it. I don't know how we're gonna find it, but we're gonna find it. Again, it feels like they were pointing to the grill as being something, but I can't interact with it, and I can't, like, dig there and miss a dirt spot. That's a rock. I don't think I did miss a dirt spot. That's a rock. You drafted the TMs from Gem. I'm gonna buy this banana. We did do a second that Joey was supposed to do, since he isn't doing YouTube now. Is he not? It's a little unfortunate. Gems and 4 corner rooms are more common today. Both are good. He barely streams. What do you mean? He's streamed once in the last year. It's better than I do sometimes. The Rotunda. It's bad. The Vestival's pretty bad. I don't like any of these, honestly. Give me a hallway here. Also, just because you're right doesn't mean that you're correct. We're gonna take the walk-in closet because we're hounding for items. Where's my 4th item? I got robbed. Oh, there it is. Bad items, but it's fine. Midstream Carbo, one of his teammates started dropping slurs! You know what the worst part is? I don't know which teammate. It could be any of his teammates. Great Hall? Give me a Great Hall. Great Hall has locked doors, but also, more importantly, it is what I need. Even... It could. I do have a mallet. Come on, I need either the car key for the... Like... I need the sauce! And then I can go. Ugh. I guess a morning room? I like a morning room. I like this room a lot. I probably pick this room every time I'm offered it. Coin purse? Not the coin purse, man. A reminder for what we're looking for. Yeah, I agree. He's pretty good about it, usually. Their third was just going off immediately. Yeah, that tracks. Yeah, so now we can get there. If anything, that can be our thing. No racists. What about just like a little bit of racism? Just a little bit. This room took a lot of keys. I'm not happy about it, but I think that getting it was important. The vestibule. Yeah, we have enough keys. Oof. The drawing room is pretty sick. The rotunda could be... Let's pick up the rotunda, actually. Because we can use the rotunda to get... That one's locked. So we're not going to open that door. Boop. Usually not race that slur is directed against. You're right, aren't you? A cloister's fine. You can hate people based on choices. You can hate... Alright, you can hate people based on the choices that they themselves make. You cannot hate somebody based on choices that were made for them. Oh, Vault's sick. But I don't have... Chamber of Mirrors is also good. Let's take the passageway, though. I don't want second copies of stuff popping up. I think it complicates. A rock! Coin. There is a kitchen down here, so we'll be fine for steps, but... Drawing room. Commissary shares one inventory, or each one has its own items? That's a fantastic question. I wouldn't even know where to begin with that question. We're gonna the respin is free. Honestly, we need gems at this point. Ah, no, I should have taken the other one. The major key could have been huge. But I think 3 gems is worth it. Honestly, 3 keys is good. We just need to get to the end. So I'm not too worried. Yet. I'm getting there. I do like a study. I think study is a very strong floor plan. I don't know why I came in here, though. Oh, map. That's why I came in here, apparently. Wait, isn't that Isn't that this room? Am I losing my mind? Is that... That is that room. Three gems and $5. Yeah. Do you know the safe in that room? I don't know the safe for that room. I know it's a date of some kind, but I don't know the date for it. Notable dates for the Lost Coffers of Mount Holly. Yeah, we got a lot of cash today. We're taking the showroom. If there are any comments or concerns... What is that? While drafting, you may rewind time after drawing new floor plans. I may... What? Regain steps from eating, gain twice that many steps. You do not pay the gem cost of floor plans. I want the chronograph, but I'm gonna buy the emerald bracelet because I think that I saved $1! Thank you, coupon book! I can probably buy out the showroom today. Okay, so gems just don't matter anymore. Thinking about taking the weight room. No, we'll do one more reroll. The foyer? You ever drafted the upgraded? I have drafted. I have. I just usually don't. Oh, the vault's free. It's free. It's really hard to say no to the vault. The pantry lets me keep going, though. Let's me keep going, because I opened this door. Get the vault. I'm gonna keep going. I want to get all the rooms, actually. I know that feels like a weird choice, but I think it's correct. Remember, every time I eat an apple, which I think oranges legally are apples. I don't know why it's like that, but I think that's true. Billiard room or a library? We can take a library. Libraries are important. Day is December 11th. Comparing apples to orange. How dare you? The legend of Black Bridge is that it's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. However, with so many additions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seems an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I've heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listen, the clearer it becomes that there could never be a definite version of this tale capable of capturing all the wonder and myth of the Black Bridge. In the end, I chose to write down what felt most authentic, the story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. Rad name! There were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. And for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more lay unclaimed, each worse than the last. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise, high road robbery. One such member of this so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out, an easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation, glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jasper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. It was here that he met his surrogate family and saviors, the notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hounds. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted, and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertaking, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked, while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Black Bridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave berry basket in hand and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest tree tops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway down afforded meant Jasper could reach the furthermost berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours, this is a long book, on foot to reach his destination, and along the way Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. It's like 10 pages, man. Twit longers are bigger. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jasper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates, who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set out to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept toward the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment before the sound source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage of gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch, and upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effort that the noble steeds slid to a sudden halt with precise control. "You, boy! Get out from behind that bush," he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. "You startled me half to death coming round the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not be any face." Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries." Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicion that the driver might have had, instantly evaporated, for even the notion of a member of the Unholy Hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. "Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? I used to pick berries here as a boy." Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. "I know, and what luck I found them. I have only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me 4-fold the time back home to procure this number." Driver bent down for a closer look. "And where's your home, boy? It must be quite far." Jesper replied with a scripted response. "A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods." "My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning." It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled. And while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Black Bridge Canyon, he could see why it might seem less believable here. "Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a prize such as these." "Brother berries, calm down. Surely you have tasted them for yourself." Jesper felt happier with the response, as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far. And even then, my father would always drive us here in our carriage, so I'm ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. I'm not reading that message. It's an incredible message, though. Then let my efforts reward us both today. You raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And at the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat. What the fuck, Jesper? Cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. And for that taste I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the men's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will kill you if you give me no cause. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though I will admit the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse upon your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge to a small degree and allowed the man to speak, which he did in turn softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. I know about the car keys. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. A concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on the man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. This kid is malnourished and sleep deprived. Sleep and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displayed no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you are showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it, secured the final bindings, and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. If there is no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside, the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished gold facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed a passage in this vehicle. Oh, he's dead. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat, a large wooden box. Despite its hefty appearance, maybe I should check the inside of the car. The box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, two observations were made. Totemic symbols found carved on all four sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Indian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the Old World and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Hang on. I feel like I've been... mods kill that, man. I feel like that I have just been given a taste of a large amount of lore based on that realm. It's about to open Pandora's box? I think so. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock that would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. Do you perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box? Without emotion, the driver replied, there is no key to that box. Jesper stood up, easy enough then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. There was ever a time when the lock had been resistant to brute force. It wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box had felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile had once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is that stone. You have opened that which should have never been opened, and you are cursed. I think that was labeled likely Banivator. Yeah, it must be people that get... It's got to be people that get banned on just so many streams. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. Oh, what, you mumbling Agentor? And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace, he paused for effort. 12 more and you will be dead. He only had a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic rambling. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses, and had never doubted their validity in the past, but now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could live maybe another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was able to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if by some stroke of luck the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him, as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses and a carriage of gold trim were beside him. The answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be some value, but the additional risk of undertaking a task too great to chance. And so, after a profound breath, he took a second, third, and 4 steps, though they were quite large. Seated now beside the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appraisal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures object of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? With that statement said aloud, to the horses seemingly, Jesper took the reins with confidence. Oh, no. I need to hit Do Not Disturb on that real quick. There we go. Elder Scrolls level book. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such an ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered she was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful not to wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything louder than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Turns out the mine wasn't active. That sounds like a cool movie. Where was I? Pointing towards the ground behind her. Miller turned, following the finger, and saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. I will hydrate. Thank you. Turned out dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke, and had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. Oh, They had been on third watch together for over a month, and during that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course, but intimacy never. From the elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains, the overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. It's just called Mine. Mine? 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 Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers, but to a cavern house bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. I can't... Okay. Alright. It's only part 2. I can read this, probably. She felt exposed. Rivia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, suddenly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month along the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but she shook her head a second time. It was often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls' heads held still, watched and listened. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Don't have to worry about that. Ravia held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform. Long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at the Black Bridge wasn't an unusual sight. Typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge. Information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. The men had nearly reached the bridge north end when Miller heard the horses faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoof beats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. Those were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had nocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go. Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing towards the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion that both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was Blackguard. Attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing the thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheel jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of the sudden halt immediately shattered the front two wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down the canyon, the entire horde of unholy hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. The expression was chilly. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Joffrey Heartslasher. You can't have a name like Joffrey Heartslasher. That can't be your real legal name. Led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him, a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Miller was inconsolable. Jesper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the helms of her every move, the way a child trails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in the most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, honed by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy that they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as a somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking string of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her, but even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead, louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave, her eyes now open wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. The girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began, blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. Ah, he grinned. Now they speak. Wow, that's... When did they forget? Oh, yeah, they didn't tell anybody about the guards because they were all sad, so they caved in the... Okay, they caved it in. Well, that's a downer. Anyway. We have 3 keys left. Gems are locker room. Locker room gives a lot of keys. Give me locker room. Good, they were bastard-coded bastards. Yeah? Secret passage, greenhouse. I do like a greenhouse. I do really like a greenhouse. Give me the greenhouse. Mostly because the greenhouse also... do we have... Battery pack? We're missing the broken lever. Because this is an... I saw this last time I was in here. The broken... the wall here can be caved in. Which I noted last time I was in here. So if we find the lever, the lever handle... Where? 1 penny. So if we, again, if we find the broken lever handle, we can break that wall down with the super sledge. So it's another thing to keep our eyes out on. Keys are spread throughout the house. I'm pretty confident in being able to get a key. And this is the locker that usually has an item in it. Can you read it again? I wasn't here. No! No, I can't. Secret garden key. Okay. Secret garden key is sick. Because it means... Oh, and there's a key in here. Secret garden key is actually just fantastic. The secret garden does not have a... It needs to be on the edge of the manor, I think. We go to the rotunda passageway. We're in a very good spot, actually. This is gonna seem weird. I'm gonna grab the weight room. No, I'm gonna grab the... I'm gonna grab the weight room. I know that seems strange, but I think I can afford it. Oh, the broken lever. Oh, sick. Okay, now we can make the super sledge. Not the indoor nursery. I'm gonna re-roll here. Aquarium's fine. I need a compass. Cool. Why did I get a bunch of steps? I need a... this is gonna... I need a locked room so I can open the... Yeah, I want the boiler room here. Because I want a locked room at the edge of the map so I can open up the... this one's not too bad. I can just do... Turn this lever. Okay. So we can unlock the secret garden here. Good. This key doesn't... What do you mean it doesn't fit? What do you mean the key doesn't fit there? Does it fit here? What? You're not gonna re-roll? I'm actually blown away that the secret garden key doesn't fit there. We're grabbing the conservatory. Maybe that corner was a barren square? Oh, right. Okay. Conservatory will permanently adjust the rarity and rates that determine how often certain floor plans are drawn. Okay. Dark room is gonna go up to, rare. Wait. The vestibule is going to go into a commonplace. And the secret passage is also going to go to... I can only make it standard. Is going to go to common. Confirm. Choose plan. Okay, sick. Maybe. Maybe it was a barren square. I thought that the secret garden could show up. This room... Festival is a green... Conservatory is a green rook. Which I need to write down. Conserve is a rook. Can I use the secret garden key here? I don't think I can get to secret garden now, which is really unfortunate. I couldn't use it there. Maybe that corner was a barren square. I don't think it was, though. That's upsetting, because I wanted to go here, secret garden? No, I know it's not gonna fit. Damn, that sucks. It's fine, there should be plenty of keys around. I need a room that juts this way. Yeah, like, we have to take archives here. We don't have to, we could take kennel. We could take kennel. I'm gonna say kennel. I like kennel. Kennel's funny. Oh, there's no dig spot here. I just kind of assumed that there would always be a dig spot in this room. Oh, you can pet the dog. I don't know why I thought you couldn't pet the dog. All right, let's go find some keys. There's some around, so we're not gonna suffer. But we have to get exactly there now. We have the one that makes all... Yeah, we have foyer, so I don't have to worry about these. I do need to head over to the kitchen, actually, so we're gonna go this way, down to the kitchen. Just to make sure we don't run out of steps. We can make the super sledge. Which we're going to do. No, it's this way. Yeah, we're gonna make the super sledge and break through the hall in the conservatory. Which is what we're gonna be... I don't know where the gem came from. Just give me bacon and eggs. The patio. It's nothing for me. Go to the kitchen. This room is the kitchen. No, I was just in the kitchen. What am I doing? I have to go... How do I actually get back? Let's buy more food, actually. Actually, not having any, I know I have, like, infinite... I have a lot of steps today, but I haven't seen any, There we go. How do I get back? The mechanarium. Yeah, this way. Can you make a super sandwich? Can you make me a sandwich? No. What? Stuff in here. So we go down through the office. One thing that would be actually a really nice addition is not getting... Like, being locked out of the secret garden sucks. Having the secret garden would have been really nice. We don't know what... That was the greenhouse lever, actually. Why is nothing is... That's really a fantastic question. No, I want to... Spread gold. Spread gold. We bought all of this out, yeah, so we don't have to buy that. Workshop. Hammer battery pack, broken lever, gives us the power hammer. Can you play the arcade cabinet? I can't. They said they were planning on they might add it in a patch to the game, but they haven't added it yet. I have enough keys now, so shame. I agree. I hope they get it taken care of, but they haven't yet. But again, I think that that's fine. I need to check into the vestibule, into the rotunda. Okay. Mechanarium, into the vestibule. This game is also 13 days old. Yeah. I've been playing it. This game's 13 days old, and I've streamed this game half of the days it's existed. And on one of those days, I went and got Korean barbecue. We should go over to the... Just another studio releasing an unfinished game. The game is, like, finished, though. Not the study. It was a good day. That was a good day. What the? This is not what I expected to find back. There's a door out here? What? I didn't know we had Korean barbecue in MKE. Well, that's the neat part. The original gardener's logbook. When I get fired. It's a record of my many indiscretions and lapses of judgment. Should this logbook ever be found, know that my guilt is exceeded only by my failings. As the groundskeeper of a vast estate, it is my responsibility to ensure the property remains well maintained and beautiful all year round. From the many green rooms of the manor to the sprawling lawns, it is my duty to attend to every aspect of the grounds, ensuring they are orderly, presentable, and accessible so that they may be appreciated by guests and the family. That would be the day. This logbook, many years overdue, shows a record of some of my duties, discoveries, and contributions I have made to the estate over the many years I have served here as a groundskeeper, and however many more are yet to come. Not many, apparently. A few months ago, I made a truly remarkable discovery in my role of Mount Holly horticulture. Through years of breeding and experimentation, I successfully created a new species of flowers with a fruit that resembles a gemstone in every detail. Although the fruit is not edible, it is nevertheless a marvel of nature, possessing all the beauty and brilliance of a genuine jewel, but with the added benefit of being entirely organic. Despite the creation of this flower being my proudest accomplishment to date, my joy was slightly curbed when I was informed by Randolph Moore that my employer's company, Cinca, had decided to deny my request to announce my discovery to the public, completely disregarding my years of hard work and dedicating to the project. This decision was absolute rubbish. I poured my heart and soul into this project, investing countless hours, research, and experiments to create something truly extraordinary. I feel this flower has the potential to make a significant impact on the field of horticulture, and it feels like such a waste to keep a gem like this hidden away for, quote, future research. As I suspected, they wanted the flower to serve primarily as a cheap way to produce resources for special floor plans. That's crazy. I had hopes for this logbook, but I have struggled to find a reason to add another entry. My employer's decision earlier this year... Oh, these are all dates. Has left me feeling disheartened, and I feel it quite difficult to find the motivation to continue in my work. I am aware that my disappointment is affecting my performance, and I am reminded of that daily when I see the houseplants slowly dying as I make my rounds. Perhaps I should quit. I really, really should have. My ambition has been reignited. However, perhaps with some prodding, that the employee contracts for the staff are kept within the Baron's private office on the 10th rank. A fact that I found quite remarkable considering this house only has 9 ranks. This all but confirms the long-held suspicion that the rumored 46 room is in fact north of the antechamber, a suspicion that I had always considered too obvious to be plausible. As much as I wish to abandon all pretense of caring about my job to focus on this new project, I fear I must resume my gardening duties for the sake of appearances. It has, after all, been a long time since the north side of the house has received the groundskeeper's undivided attention. Let's trim the hedges and see what we find. Wait, weight room? If there is a 10th rank, it is impossible to perceive its existence from the outside. So if it does exist, then I'm going to assume that reaching it can only be done through the antechamber. Sadly, security has only gotten tighter in the years after Mary's disappearance, and that room is no longer locked behind regular doors that can be opened by regular keys. No, that would be too easy. Instead, the Baron has remote access levers installed in several different rooms of the house. Funny enough, I already know the location of 3 levers, as one was recently installed in the greenhouse and another 2 were installed in the secret garden. It's almost like they were choosing green rooms just to tempt me. Weight room sealed. There's one in the weight room? That actually is an incredibly interesting find. Although these past few months of exploration have yet to yield the fruit I seek, I have in time gained a much greater mastery of the estate and have stolen many glimpses behind the black curtain that veils her many secrets. Among the more exciting of my recent finds was the discovery of a hidden chamber in one of the outer rooms, sealed shut behind a false wall. Still quality of the air and the unmistakable aroma of corroded metal led me to believe that this chamber has remained sealed for many decades. Within it I found a large vat of copper still, their time-worn surfaces streaked with creeping veins of oxidation and rust. I was unsure if these instruments can be restored to working condition, but if they can, I may yet find a use for the sugar beets and potato stores rotting away in the root cellar. Hidden chamber in one of the outer rooms, sealed shut behind a false wall. So one of the outer rooms has a false wall that I can break. At last, I have finally discovered a location of one of the north levers. It is in a location. It is deep underground, in a location so far removed from any of the state's plant life that, had I been discovered, I would have been completely vulnerable without any excuse but curiosity to offer to my captor. As anxious as I was to pull it, I have decided to wait until Baron is away, as it reduces the risk of being caught significantly. And once he leaves, I don't think that a delay in returning will be too hard to engineer now that Kristoff is under my thumb and beholden to do whatever I command. Well, there's no turning back now. After finally reaching the objective I had been working towards for the last 4 months, I made an impulsive decision in the heat of the moment and took more than just my contract. I found something that I knew could give me the chance to make back some of the money I felt I was owed to me and grab the opportunity without really considering the consequences. Given that there is now only one missing file in the staff contracts, I have unwittingly left an incriminating trail leading directly back to me. My only hope is that they consider it too obvious to be plausible. I'm almost positive that I'm not going to get away with it, but at this point I feel I owe it to myself to get what's coming to me one way or another. And that's the last entry. Okay. So confirmation of a lot of stuff that we knew. And that's fine. Oh, watering can, that's right. And that's fine. But it's interesting all the same. Money, yay. Gonna open a few lockers because sometimes they have... I should never open this locker. Should literally never open this locker. I was hoping for the gems, actually. Gems is a good find, because now I can go up here, past the conservatory, and just get a room that gets me in there. I think that should set my steps to 40, hopefully. Showroom, what's in here? Oh, money. You gain steps from eating. I should grab the silver spoon. Grab a gem here. Then we go through the road. This is the wrong room. Shoot. I really shouldn't be wasting my steps. But it's probably fine. There's one in the weight room. That was the most interesting thing that I saw. Ah! Aha! The destruction of structural elements of the house, like walls, is not permanent and will reset every few days. That's just a lie. Secret garden? So upset about that. Does setting the height of the gear in the basement actually do anything? Not currently. Solarium, Arca... we're gonna grab a sauna. Just because of the fact that I can grab sauna. And then I can go... because I can still get to this room. I just get there through the... Setting the height of the gears in the basement didn't do anything yet. Okay, basement key. Sick. Now we just need to get out. We have enough. I better hope I'm right about the pantry thing, because if that's not, then this is going to be just very tragic. Does the basement key work on the top door of the antechamber? On the top door of the antechamber. No. No, it does not. There's also no... It's also sealed, is the thing. Yeah, better hope I'm right about this, because if I'm not, I'm in trouble. Crap. No, we're okay, because we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And the running shoes will it's fine. I don't think it's fine. Can I get to the dining room? And maybe thought I just unsealed it. Is it like in trouble? Bad. Sucks. Into the vestibule. Thank you, running shoes. So if I can get to the dining room, which I can because I go 1, 2, 3. No, there's no breaker box, is there? Is there a breaker box in my... No, we just go through the mechanarium. Through the... Shoes will save us, just go. No, because I was going to say we can go out the garage. I can't go out the garage door. So I need to go foundation to parlor to... Ugh. Okay. We're not going to get the extra steps. We don't need the extra steps. GG's. Yeah, so we have the key. We didn't get the stupid frickin' thing from the... 65 coins and a trunk somewhere. Where's the trunk? Yeah, they're all in the basement. Or they're all in the tomb. Which we didn't actually find the thing that we needed to get into the... in there, which is crazy to me. Basement key. Okay, yeah, we need to unlock the entrance to here, though. We need to figure that out. This should be the other side of here. Yep, that makes sense. Oh, is it because the water level isn't all the way up? Are you kidding me? It better not be real. Well, we'll take a screenshot of that. This is that symbol again. And candles. Another reason I wish I had the torch lighting device. The candle lighting device. Okay. I've opened the other side of this door now. Okay. But this is all stuff that we had to do. This feels important, though. The candles in this room make me think that, again, crazy that I just didn't find the only thing that I wanted to find today, which was the spyglass. I guess I messed up by not raising the water level all the way here. So I guess the water level either needs to be all the way up or all the way down. Which I could not have known. And I'm a little bit sad about now that I didn't set that, because there's the little rowboat. Anyway, we're gonna go into the tomb. I got a lot of people are hanging out today, actually. We're gonna go down into the tomb. We'll collect our dollary dues. It's a worthless old shoe. There is another thing in the tomb that we can do, but we don't have... We read that letter already. It was dark and depressing, and we don't want to deal with it. That one is down. Saint of Cooking or whatever. We haven't seen enough of the statues either. So I know one of the things that I had was I took a picture of this. It's like got its arms crossed though, so it's very weird and very difficult for me to tell what it wants with these statues. Oh, and this tells me how I set up the candles. You also took a picture of all the stained glass. I did, but the stained glass I don't think is helpful. Yeah, because they're like all up. Just didn't seem helpful. Yeah, I need to light those probably in order to find the... Wait, does the messing with the statues affect these candles? Yeah, unfortunately, just like blindly messing with the statues isn't gonna do much for me. Anyway, the reason I did that is very stupid, but I'm gonna have to end stream pretty soon. We can actually. I've got a little under. I got time. I got a little bit of time. Because we can actually go in here now and get to the other side of that minecart that we moved. Which is a thing I've been trying to do for a bit. Just go here, right? I gotta just scooch past the thing. I was like, I know I was able to. I made it scoochable. And then we should be able to get to... Because this was the minecart that we moved. Now we can get to the other side of the minecart. Go to the abandoned mine. This should be the other edge of the gear room, which should let us interact with this room a bit more. Which is the reason that I did this the way that I did it. And we probably need the key to the... Lets me get there. Yeah, let's interact with this a little bit. Right now, we didn't have a way here, even with the gear up, so we couldn't do anything with it. Okay. I do want to get there because there's stuff written there. This should be a turn. Yep. That looks like it's going to be locked. It's not! Where are we going? Whoa. We've done it. We found the lever to the 46th room. Unfortunately, we can't get in there because it's probably locked, but... we found it. Do I have enough steps? I don't have the key. The key is the key. If I had to guess, the key is the key that I got. Is the key. I definitely don't have enough steps, but it's possible if Running Shoes is a homie. I'll be honest, I really like this game's use of music in kind of more muted ways. Oh, sick. Almost 3 years in the tunnels, Asnar has informed me that we will be closing up this site in June. It has been a somewhat bittersweet experience working on such a historically significant excavation over the past 30-odd months, yet being unable to share any of the work with the world. Maybe one day. Still, there is a significant amount of work that has yet to be done, and it is vitally important that we conclude our efforts in the main cavern and reinforce the structural integrity of the site before we seal the tunnels next month. Maybe many generations before they are reopened. Yeah, so... Is this the one that raises it? I couldn't interact with it was the problem. I must do something. There's also... It looks like there's stuff there, maybe? So how would I set this? Because now I can use this as a... I can use this as a door. I can use either of those as doorways, actually. Like, I can get there now, which I'm just gonna do because I should. Is this how I got the first time? Yeah, it was, okay. So that was how I just got there the first time. Okay. Little redundant. Okay. Well, we know what to do. And we know how to get there. And we can get there at any time now. That feels like a big accomplishment. I don't think we have enough to get there today, though. But we might. So that's a way I could go. What happens if I arrange it the other direction? It leads to there. It'll lead there, won't it? 2 more. I like this track a lot, too. It feels very reminiscent of... It feels like a victory lap at this point, where it's just like, just go open the door! Oh, I guess if you got here the other way... I feel like I've looked at this before. Well, I don't know how I would have. Could not get into here before. I have 10 minutes, by the way. I can't interact with the second layer, though. Which is confusing to me. Why can't I interact with that layer? If I set it like that, I'm able to. It doesn't really seem like there's a need for me to interact with that layer, though. Because I've been to all of these, so where would I get with the... Where would I get with this layer? Because I can bring it up. And I can get over here, but why do I need to? I don't see what this gets for me. Like, I could go here, I could go there, or I could go there? Yeah, it just... This doesn't seem necessary. It's like I can do this. What's the point? Because I've been... That might be a mystery for another... That might be a mystery to solve another day, I guess. Yeah, so we need the key from down there. However, it is very possible that... That's a different, I don't have the key card. So I can't call the elevator down. My guess is that allows you to access one offshoot. Yeah, that might be true as well. Is that kind of the offshoots of the... There's more to the game, though. I can tell there's more. This game has more secrets hiding in it. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we actually get there. Thank you, Running Shoes. Just have to make sure I go the correct way. Buy the silver spoon. No. You have to go this way, because I didn't set this up in the right orientation. Money. If we we're not gonna pass it, which is the only reason. Like, we're going this way. We're not going there. I'm not buying the silver spoon. I can get here. Ooh.
There was once a red prince who sat on a red throne.
So I have an upgrade disc.
He had a red crown made of ruby.
I do, don't I?
And a red castle
Me.
made of stone. The prince had a love for all things red. It's the only true color, the prince often said. He could not stand the sight of a canary or a crow. He could not stand the white of a swan in the snow.
Rule of Rose. You didn't see the red book. Our mom wrote a book called The Red Prince, and we read it. But we are the Blue Prince.
Was not a red hue.
I'm stuck in a minute-long ad break. I cannot. No. This is a tragedy.
You didn't see the birds.
Oh, we'll probably get the original ending of the book.
The leaves. And he never saw the sights
That's different than the book I read, I think.
of life's many symphonies.
Yep, that's different.
He couldn't see beyond the red shade he was aware. He never caught a glimpse of the world I had to share. But one day the prince saw something new. And if you look closely, you might see it too. The skies parted and the clouds withdrew. The prince had a new favorite color.
Color was blue.
The color
Blue Crown!
blue.
Yay! that color was green. Oh. I mentioned to make note of why I couldn't hear Triple answer you. I did. I did answer you. Oh. I beat the game. I don't feel like I beat the game. I didn't understand what happened, but I'm glad I was here. I have been playing this game since it came out, and I have beat the game. I don't feel like I beat the game. Yeah, that's the one I don't understand, is the 1 day. It seems like there's 2 levers for every location. This was... oh. This was such a fun video game. This is exactly... this is a game that... oh man, this is a game that I'll never be able to play for the first time again, and that's a shame. It's one of those games. You're so glad you convinced me to buy it. I'm gonna be real with you. You didn't convince me to buy it. You just reminded me that it was here. Get the whole trophy case? Absolutely, we're doing that. There's so many other things that I want to know. The 6 rooms at the bottom of the... oh, for Christopher Manson, who opened many doors for me. Aw. The 6 doors at the bottom are obviously something I want to work towards. There's more rooms to discover. I think we're in a really good position. Honestly, I think that's a pretty good first playthrough of the game. 30-something days, maybe 40. Yeah. The Sanctum? Yeah, the Sanctum. The Rubies. The Sanctum, the Rubies. The Trophy Room. Mount Holly, your new home. Honestly, not a bad house either. There's no bathroom, which is a little bit of a problem, but we have a pool. We have a weight room. We have a locker room. You're missing a room. Shut up. We have an aquarium. I could have opened a room there, honestly. And it's got a tomb. I'm gonna hit the save and continue button, and I'm curious what now? That says the next day. I'm gonna close the game, I think. I think we'll do this next time. I think this is a really interesting cliffhanger, and I hate doing this to you, but I also have another thing I have to be doing. So, thank you so much, everybody who has been... for the people who have been kind of on the whole journey, thank you. I really appreciate it. For the people that have been in and out, I appreciate you equally. This was such a fun game. This was a 10 out of 10. I'm really glad that Baldur's Gate didn't come out this year, because I would be hard-pressed to not be screaming at the top of my lungs that this was Game of the Year last year. We're not done. We're doing more streams of this as well. Probably not as hard, but this has reignited one of those... I think how I want to do puzzle game streams a little bit more in the future is a little bit more like this. A little bit just more frequently, and a little bit harder so I can keep going with them and I don't forget as much stuff. But we're not done. There's more to do. But I'm glad we got room 46. Anyway, I have to be off. Thank you everybody so much for hanging out. We'll do this again. Other 2 things, I will throw up I need to throw up links to. I need to throw them both on. I'm gonna throw them just on the Twitch. I will throw up a link to the. I'll throw up a link to the YouTube channel that I have, and then also to the Discord where I just announced that I'm streaming. That's pretty much it. It doesn't do anything else. But I'll throw those up under the Twitch next time. But again, thank you everybody so much. I'll catch you next time.